Hello, hello. Everybody is coming into the room. Melanie, are you able to? Okay. Hi, everyone. I am Rachel Allen, and I am the Education Tribe Leader for BEN. And welcome to our first educational training for the year. So excited for this one, and I'm so excited for all that we have in store. Today, we have Mr. Will Higgins out on the West Coast and also hometown New Orleans.
Let's go.
He is here to talk to us today about agent attraction, why it's an important part of your business, and why it's a great way to diversify income in your business. So we know and understand we're here to do real estate. That's what we do. We're real estate agents. We sell houses. We do a whole lot of things. But you can only do that for so long. And so if you are looking to scale your business, what do? You have to find the right people. And what does that look like? And so Will came to EXP about, where were we, 3 years ago, 2 years ago?
2.5, almost 3. Yep.
2.5 years ago, and has grown his organization of agents to 200. So it's a really amazing story to hear how he grew such a strong organization in such a short period of time. So I'm excited to hear about the techniques. So he's here to tell us about how do you bring on your first 5 agents, or how do you attract your first 5 agents. So Will, welcome.
I love
And
it. I love it. Thank you,
away.
Rachel, for the intro. I don't know if she said hometown, but we went to high school together.
Yeah.
So super interesting to see folks from high school now grown with kids and living life and running successful businesses. So I'm super proud of her. I don't get to tell her enough, but I'm super proud of her and happy to be here with my folks at BEN. I mean, this is an amazing group. If you're not tapped in, you need to tap in. This group has afforded me a ton of opportunities, and it can do the same for you. So you just got to stay tapped in. So today, guys, I titled this thing, is attraction worth it? And, in talking to my wife, she said, yes, it's worth it. So that's not even part of the question. So I think today we're going to pivot a little bit and we're going to talk about the 3 reasons why people aren't really doing attraction. So hopefully this can help get you started. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Is the chat live? Like hey, if you're there, come into the chat, guys. Let me know where you're at. What city you're in? Because I can see the chat, but I don't see anybody in there. Hosts and panelists. There we go. Philly. There we go. Houston. There we go. Light it up, guys. Norfolk, Phoenix. I love it. Maryland, Ontario, Waterloo. Okay. I guess that's Canada. Here we go. Jersey. Love your YouTubes. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you. Thank you. We'll talk about YouTube a little bit later as well. Oakland, Raleigh, Pittsburgh. Keep coming, guys. Uh-oh, somebody's AI assistant jumped into the chat. All right, guys. So let me share my screen.
Well, while you do that, I will be monitoring the chat and also the Q&A. So if y'all have any questions, let us know. I'm more than happy to relay those questions to Will as we go.
Yeah, perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, guys. So again, is agent attraction worth it? I'm going to tell you right now it is. But we're going to go through just a couple of slides. I'm going to give you a little background, kind of give you my thoughts about the whole thing, and then we're going to talk a little bit about how I did it. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys some useful tools, and trust me, I mean, there's a lot to it. It's a whole nother business, but also, I mean, it's just like referring anything else. Like, I think I was built for this because I'm a natural referrer. Like, I wish my clients were more like me, because every time I have a great experience, I go out and tell 10 people. So if you're that type of person, like, this is literally for you. Okay. So just a little bit about me, guys. So I do real estate. I sell real estate. Okay, that's what we all do, and that's what we came here for, right? So over the last few years, I started out part time, but over the last few years, I've had a lot of success here in the Southern California market. And I had that by using Instagram, Instagram, social media, because I didn't know anybody. I'm not from here. And you'll see, but I attacked my agent attraction the same way. So I am an EXP icon. So I hit icon in 2022, had an amazing year that year. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. 200 agents in the organization. I mean, honestly, that was like a 5-year goal, you know. I never imagined that would have happened. And people see that number, and I want to talk about kind of what that means financially later. Okay. And then we want to compare and contrast that to some of the traditional ways to build wealth in real estate. And I'm a social media and digital marketing expert. So that's basically how I grew my real estate business, and that's how I'm growing my organization. Okay. So EXP, biggest opportunity in real estate. And I feel like a lot of folks are missing it. This thing is happening fast. We don't know where it's going to go, what it's going to morph into. But the good news is you're in the opportunity now. You just need to take advantage of it. Okay. So that's the good news. You're in the opportunity now. You just need to take advantage of it. And, so many times in life, we experience things that we don't know, 5 months from now, a year from now, 2 years, three, that it was a pivotal point in our life. Okay. And I feel like that's where we are right now. Like this is such a pivotal point because we don't know where it's going to go. We have an idea, but we don't know exactly where it's going to go, but it's going. Okay. Traditional methods. So a lot of people aren't doing this because they're focusing on traditional methods, right? And when I got into real estate, we all got into real estate. Like, why did you get in? I got in personally. Why this was so attractive to me personally. I got into real estate part time, and my thought was I was going to sell a couple homes. Right? I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. I was going to sell a couple of homes. Every 2 transactions I close here, keep my full time job. Right? Every 2 homes I sell here, I'll go home and buy a rental property because I could afford one there, right? That didn't work out. I mean, prices skyrocketed. We had COVID, so that didn't work out. But let's talk about some of the other traditional methods, guys. So again, I mentioned rentals, right? So that's very capital intensive, 25% down, three, four, $500,000 house. You're talking 100 grand plus each time. Okay. So very capital intensive. And then monthly, you're not making much. Flipping, I've done that too. Super capital intensive, super risky, a lot of moving parts. If you don't time it right, guess what? You could lose everything. Okay.
So it's not
Airbnb.
it's not like they say on HGTV.
It is nothing like they say on HGTV. Everybody talks about sorry about that, the Burr method, but they never talk about getting out of the loan as a real estate agent, refinancing the home. So I've gotten stuck there twice,
Other class.
refinancing the home. Yeah, so they never talk about that, right? Airbnb, super sexy. Everybody's Airbnb. That's what's trending, Instagram, right? But guess what? They're changing the rules all the time. And it happened to me. So bought a property in the French Quarter, they changed the rules, right? And then you're left with the property. Real estate sales, great. That's what we all do, right? But we've seen over the last couple of years, it's almost hard to scale unless you buy the business, and that's Zillow Flex, and that's a job. So sales takes a while to scale, but it's definitely integral to all of our success. And then wholesaling, never tried it. I know it's a lot of marketing, a lot of red tape. So just not great options. But let's talk about what I did do. So I have a duplex, and that duplex, I make about 2 grand a month. Okay. So and you can, I'm pretty sure a lot of you have rental properties. So I make 2 grand a month on the duplex, right? Mortgage is 1,300. I pay the water because I only have 1 meter. So I got to pay the water. That's 200. And then a property manager, that's 10%. That's 200, right? So I'm making $300 a month. $300 a month. Could I do this 10 more times and make $3,000 a month? Yes, that's the traditional way to do it, right? So annually I'd make about $3,600, but guess what? Something always goes wrong. Something always goes wrong. So I'm typically negative which is good because, like I need the write off, but ultimately we're here to make some money, right? So that's my experience traditional, and I'm pretty sure you guys have your own experiences. Also, a lot of folks are losing money over semantics, guys. I don't want to be called a recruiter. Well, guess what, guys? I played high school football, and we prayed that the recruiters called, right, to go to college. I worked in corporate America for 12 years, and guess what? We prayed that the recruiters called because every time the recruiter called, an upgrade was happening. So something better was happening in my life. So I don't look at it that way, right? Call me a recruiter. I don't care. And we'll talk about that later because in my mind, recruiting has always been a good thing and a great thing for me. And all the greats were recruiters. Gary Keller, recruiter, right? Remax guy, recruiter. All these guys have been recruiters. It's the ultimate leverage is people. Okay. Bruised ego. Okay, so this is number three, right? I love it when I hear people say this. No one's ever been killed because they try to recruit somebody to EXP. Name a case where somebody's been shot because they asked somebody to join EXP. You see something in the chat yet, Rachel? No, not yet.
Work.
Nobody been shot? That's what I thought.
You not
Yeah.
even shot before?
No, no one's been shot for bringing an opportunity to someone. Okay. Let's talk about the last 2 years of production. And a lot of you've probably experienced this. So 2022, guys, I got paid 51 times on the transaction side. And then last year, I took a huge haircut, 50%. And most people, that's the same thing that's happened to you. You've taken a 50% haircut, right? Well, what if you had, instead of one stream of income, you had three? So you had three horses in the race. And that's why I joined EXP in the first place, guys. I didn't join for the good times. I joined for the bad times. And I didn't know COVID was coming, right? But I was just building, just building, just building, just building. And over the last year, when transactions have gone down, my rev share has actually gone up. So I had a conversation with Glenn a while back, and I asked him, I said, Glenn, why did you create the model? Why did you create EXP the way you created it? And what he told me was, he said that agents needed leverage. They needed a way to eventually exit the business with some dignity. And what he meant by that was he said that while you're transacting, because that's going to be your main source of income, right? But while you're transacting, you're building other streams of income in the background. So what that looks like is, maybe your first year, production is 95% of your business, right? Agent attraction is 5%, or production is 90%. Agent attraction is 5%, stock is 5%, right? Then maybe the second year, you're 75% production and 15% revenue share, 10% stock. And during the course of your career, that those other forms of income are building in the background. And guess what? At year 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I don't know how long you guys plan on doing real estate, but later on in your career, you have options. Now you don't have to do real estate. You get to do real estate, right? I don't have to do an open house. I get to do an open house, right? I don't have to cold call. I get to cold call. There's power in that. I have fired so many clients because I have other options. I don't have to put up with it. I get to work with these people, and that's the difference. And that's what I wish more people saw. Let's talk about it. So those three things, right? Like I said, nobody's ever been shot, for introducing somebody to EXP. The traditional methods, I'm making 3,600 a month, 3,600 a year from a rental property. Well, I want you guys to ask yourself, like, how much would you need to cover your living expenses? For me, that was about 10 grand, right? I don't live fancy, but I got a house, I got cars, I got kids' activities, I got stuff like that, right? Well, the average rev share paid out is $60 per agent. So you guys do the math, right? Like figure out like how big your organization would need to be for you to essentially be financially free. Okay. So I have 196. I'm four away from 200, right? This thing goes up and down, but 196 times 60, that would be 11,760 bucks a month. That would be great to have, right? We make more money selling homes, but this is completely different. This would be passive income. Well, not passive, I mean, it's active, but this would be additional income to what you're doing on the real estate side, guys. Like, that's how real this is. And just imagine the implications of this. What happens if, yes, I'm making $11,000, right? What happens if I put all that back into my business? Could I take over my market? Yes. Could I
So
take my family? Go ahead,
I
Rachel.
have a question for you because for some agents, we probably have new and experience on this call, and some may not have had as much exposure to revenue share. How is it paid
Mhm.
out? When is it paid out? Can you give a little bit background on what that would look like for an average
Oh
agent?
yeah. Yeah, it's paid out monthly, guys. So it's paid out monthly on like the 21st of the month, somewhere around there. What do you think, Rachel? Somewhere around there, 20th?
Depends on if it hits a weekend.
Yeah, yeah. So in somewhere between like the 18th and the 21st, something like that, you get a direct deposit every single month that someone in your organization transacts,
So what
right?
you're telling me is that every month between the 18th and 16th, because you have put so much energy into agent attraction, you pretty much have what many agents might get in a closing.
Correct. It adds like one extra deal. But the beauty of it is it's highly leveraged. So it's constantly growing. At a certain point, you can't stop it because everybody here has the same opportunity to build.
Mhm.
So it's constantly growing.
So I'm looking at your numbers from your levels, and I hope it's okay to ask some questions.
Yeah.
It's 41 agents, level 2, 72 agents, level 3, 42 agents, level 4, 18 agents, level 5, 17 agents, level 6, 6 agents. How many of these agents did you personally attract? And do you have a strategy with?
Yep. Yeah. So we'll talk about that. So as you can see, 41. I bought 41 people to the company, and that 41 turned to almost 200. It doesn't take much. I know people with five people with thousands.
Mhm.
You're one person away from literally your life changing. You're literally one person away. You just never know who that person will be. Any other questions?
Well, Will, you're a social media marketing expert. What does this look like for the average agent?
Relationships. I talk to every agent I do a deal with.
Mm,
I talk to every agent I do a deal with. I mean, this is a huge opportunity, you know? So, and we'll talk about it, but I tell my story all the time,
mm,
and it's going to inspire some people, at
mm,
least to get them curious. You know what I mean?
mm. And you may be getting into this, and let us know if you are, Laranda, as how do you approach the conversation with those agents?
Yeah, I mean, so there's a couple ways, A lot of times they'll ask me, so how do you like EXP? That's a recruiting call.
Yeah.
You just need to know how to handle it. How many
Funny
of you got
story. Can
go
I tell
ahead.
the story?
No, don't tell the story. No, no, no. Don't tell the story.
I can't tell it. I'm gonna tell it. Okay, too late. We started. Okay. So Will and I went to high school, and one day on Instagram, I noticed that Will was with another big name broker. Brokerage. I'm not gonna name any names, but I remember having an Instagram chat, and I probably still have it saved. I'm gonna have to post it somewhere. Um, Will used to work for the railroad company, and he got into real estate. He was telling me his story, and I was reaching out. I was like, "Oh, you're in real estate." This is when I first joined EXP, so I didn't really know exactly how Asian
Mhm.
attraction worked, but I knew it was a thing. And so I remember talking to him about EXP Realty, and he was like, yeah, they Asian attraction, interesting. And I was telling him about how what you can get as being an icon agent and how you get gifted shares of stock. And he was asking me questions like, well, how long does it take to vest? And I told him it was 3 years. And I remember him telling me, yeah, that's the golden handcuffs. That's how they keep you there. And
Mhm.
I was like, well, you should consider. And he was like, no, I'm good where I'm at. And like maybe a month or two later, I noticed he had changed his branding to EXP. And I mean, I am more than sure he had already been in conversations, or maybe he wasn't, but whatever it was, that was my missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Don't let that happen to you.
So a no is a not right now. So you have to take a no as a not right now. And um, guys, the definition of hard work is changing. The definition of hard work is changing. And what I mean by that is before it was the person that cold called the longest that did the best in business, right? Well, that's different now because you got kids on TikTok doing more deals than the person that's cold calling, right? And they're just making a video every now and then. Who's to say that they're not working harder? The difference is they have more leverage. And that's what this provides you. This provides you leverage. Okay. So let's talk about it, guys. So, how I recruited my first 5 agents, and I have a story, guys. So when I worked at the railroad, we had a company store, and every February we got our little bonuses, right? So it's 10, 15, 20,000, whatever. But the company store would sell out of stuff because everybody was so like excited about the company, right? The morale was so high because they were getting bonuses. Well, guys, a lot of times you see me, I have an EXP shirt on. Guess what? We get a bonus every month. So we're in Hawaii, guys. This is like I took my family on an amazing vacation, and we're in Hawaii, and your boy has on his EXP shirt. So, but that's that. So how I recruited my first 5 agents, guys. So one, I told my story, right? So I told my story to anybody and everybody that wanted to hear it. I am all in all the time, and I invite, right? Whatever we're training, whatever we're doing, I invite. Okay. So what does that look like? Telling your story. Guys, I told my story on YouTube, and guess what happened? It went viral. And I get 2 to 3 people calling me, getting on my calendar every week to find out about EXP. You can't be a secret agent. Every chance I get, I tell my story. And this is one of those times where, like I was mentioning earlier, like you do something, you don't realize it's a monumental moment and how big it's going to grow and what's going to happen. I was in Cabo with my family, and they went down to the pool, and I said, you know what? I'm going to hang out and I'm gonna shoot a video. I shot the video. I posted it. Nothing, nothing major happened. But then about 2 or 3 months ago, it went viral and it just started growing. Hundreds of views a day, 1,000 views. And this is the result. Okay. What does it look like, guys, to be all in? So know the model, right? Like I watched in the beginning, I obsessed. I watched Brent Gove's video, I don't know, every time I was driving. That's just me. I obsess over things because I knew how big of an opportunity it was. So I watched it until I knew it and I could present it in my way, right? Participate in the stock plan. I've had to tell agents all the time, you get the 5%, participate in the stock plan. What that does, guys, is it creates an opportunity to build another story. I have agents that have used the stock to buy rental properties. I have agents that have used the stock to use it for down payments, do home remodels, pay for medical bills. Buy the stock, guys. Um, you can't be a secret EXP agent. I see people a lot of times that they don't even have EXP on their profile. I'm building my brand. I'm not building an EXP brand, right? They don't have it on their social media profile. Join workplace groups. Get into Ben, right? Participate in stuff like this. Network with people. Everybody's there. Message me, right? Message anybody else. I study the list of the top, however many people in agent attraction all the time. And if I have a question, I'll reach out to them. Go to conferences. I haven't missed one EXP con since I've been here, right? I go to Build. I go to all the conferences, guys, because I just need that, like that charge, that recharge, mentor other agents, give back, wear EXP swag, right? Like, let people know. And then again, social media, guys, you can't be a secret agent.
So, good segue into a question that we had. When it comes to social media, how do you build out your schedule for posting and self accountability? Do you have any recommendations or strategies for that?
Honestly, guys, like I post when it moves me. I'm not I'm not super consistent anymore on Instagram. My number one platform right now is YouTube. So I'm posting one video a week, long form on YouTube and on one channel, and then I'm posting two videos a week on my other channel. So in terms of Instagram, I'm literally just posting sporadically, but also when I post, I make sure this is nothing. I make sure it goes everywhere, guys. So I use a software called repurpose.io. Message me, guys, if you want more information about it. But when I post on Instagram, it triggers and it puts it everywhere. So now I'm on TikTok, I'm on YouTube Shorts, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, like I'm everywhere. Because Gary Vee said one time, you have to meet your client where they're at. You never know where they're at. You never know.
Yeah. And I think that that's just something really interesting. When we talk about agent attraction, we're like, how do we do it? Why is it such a big thing? But yeah, we're real estate agents. It's the same idea. It's the same process of what we do when we're prospecting for clients. And so it's just a different conversation. It's about relationships more than anything else. And,
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the things that you kind of learn, especially when you're going through the conferences, be very careful about being the like, hey, let me tell you about EXP, because then
Mm-hmm.
you look like the salesman. What you're really trying to do is
I like that.
you share your story and you talk about why it's so great, why it's been so great for you. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
could talk about all day how being able to capture equity in the stock share program has literally saved me many times this year when the market changed and shifted. And I wouldn't have had that if I were at any other company because I wouldn't have had the amount of stock that I have.
Yep.
So let's see.
Nicely.
Let me see if we have another um, question. If every brokerage recruits, why does EXP get a bad rap when it comes to agent attraction?
Yeah. When I was at KW, guess what? The team leader will always come to me and say, "Hey, Will, let me help you grow your your profit share tree." Same thing.
And I mean, I think it also goes to, we did a poll to the group and, we asked, what is your comfort level with agent attraction? 30% of our group said that they're confident.
Mm-hmm.
Um, 22% said fearful, and 57%, overwhelming 50% said, I need to know more so I can answer questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
So, for me, it's something that my group really focuses on. So me and my partners, we like to we check all the boxes. So we sell a lot of homes. We participate in the revenue share, which is we participate in the stock. And it's from when I began, like it was just something that we all had in common that we all saw as a huge opportunity, So I would say just find a group. There's a bunch of them out there. I'm in every group. I'm on every training about EXP every Wednesday, I'm on every training about growing your rev share because that's how big this opportunity is.
where do you find that training?
Sean Kokoska does a great one every Wednesday. Attraction and action in workplace.
Attraction.
Attraction and action in workplace. Start there. every
Okay.
Wednesday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 11
Where
Central.
where else can you learn about EXP?
Um,
Not
you can
necessarily about
watch the
program.
motto explain the motto explain.com. I've watched that a million times.
So the
The
modelexplain.com.
Brent Go video. Yep. I have one. You can watch mine. Um,
Where do we find yours on your website?
yep. Go to join.will/Higgins dot will was it dash will-Higgins.com. Join.will-Higgins.com. And I'll show you guys what that looks like.
That join.will-higgins.com. Maybe with
Mhm.
www in front. And so that's branding right there. Like, how do you make it as easy as possible?
Yes. Yes. I mean, people want to work with you. They want more information. They just want to do it on their own time. So you have to make it accessible to them. And we'll talk about how I did that. One of the first, again, I'm a digital marketing guy, right? So the first thing I did was I created a landing page because I knew there was going to be a lot of questions about why I left Keller Williams to join EXP, especially since I was speaking on stages and doing all these things, getting all this attention as a rookie agent. So why would you leave? Why would you do it? And so I knew that was going to happen. So I'll show you guys what I created. So this is my funnel, guys. So this is how I've recruited most of the people. They literally just come to me. So my phone just buzzes. I put so much content out that they watch the content, they consume my content, and then they reach out to me when they're ready. So they just reach out to me when they're ready, and I'm here. So I have my link on Instagram. I have it on YouTube, and then they go to my landing page, which I'll show you, and they watch my videos. They read a little bit more about me. They read my story, and then they book on my calendar. That's literally what they do, and I'll show you guys what that landing page looks like.
So you have an
So
agent attraction sales funnel,
I
basically.
do, correct. So this is the funnel. So they come to the page. It gives them all the information about kind of EXP. I have a video here, and this is me giving the model. I'm reshooting that this week. This is my group called the Collective, and then I have my video of why I left Keller Williams, and that's it. I talk a little bit more about what I was going through at the time when I was, high producing agent there. And then I just give them permission to reach out to me. And then I have my bio on there, and that's it. They can come here and read about me and schedule a call. That's it. So, and again, I run this like a business. So I created a whole and again, you don't have to go this far. There's a lot of stuff out there, but I created basically a whole CRM where I have, I keep track of all the agents, all the meetings I have, all the agents I have in the process, and I literally just follow up with them.
Do you use the collective and what you offer as a draw, or just the EXP model?
Yeah, so I mean, you get everything that EXP has, but then you get everything that our group has as well. Yeah, so I do leverage my group, which you should leverage your group as well.
Mhm. Yeah, and I will say that's one thing that I love about EXP is that no other place, no other brokerage have I come to, because I go to all the conferences too, and there's so many people from different groups. It's not like, oh, you can't have what we have, or you can't learn from what we
Hmm.
have. This is a really great example of how everyone is willing to share, because when you're successful, we're all successful. We're all owners
Hmm.
of the company, and I think it's that mindset that really helps us to further who we are as a company, because we're willing to share those things.
Yep. So guys, so that's that. Connect with me on Instagram, guys. If you're interested in the landing page, hit me up on Instagram. We could talk about it.
Mhm. And I
Nessa,
know
any
we'll have
questions? Any other questions we have?
so be sure to drop your questions. I do have one from
Let
Michael.
the people open their mics that have questions.
Let's see. Can we do that? That's a Melanie
I don't know if we
We
can do
can,
that.
if they raise their hand, yes, so we don't have everybody at once. If somebody wants to open their mic, please raise your hand and we will unmute you.
But in the meantime, I do have a question from Michael on Workplace. If every brokerage recruits, why does EXP get a bad rap when it comes to agent attraction recruitment?
I think the opportunity happens so fast, and there's people that don't know enough about the opportunity and the way they approach it. But guess what, guys? Let me give you some insight, and just from my experience, from a when I talk to business people about EXP, it's an amazing, it's a great conversation, right? There's no, it's not a sales pitch. Like the people you have to sell are the people that have no sales because they don't get it. We're having a business conversation, but they have no business.
Mhm. Yeah. And I think, when you go to Agent Attract, that's one of the pluses about EXP is like there's an additional stream of income. It's not for everybody. It's not necessarily what
Yes.
everybody wants to do. It's not what their intention. So if you go to someone and EXP is so great because of this, when all some agents want to do is sell, it's still a great brokerage. Like what we have to offer is amazing. All the different resources, the tools, the connections, the education. I mean, it's there's so much offered by EXP. So if you don't want to agent attract, it's still a great
Yeah,
brokerage.
it's still a great, exactly. It's still a great model. 90% of people don't get a revenue share check every month. 90% of the people here, they're here for the stock, they're here for the low cap, they're here for the collaboration. So you don't have to do it, but there is separation happening and people are doing it. But also, here's the thing, guys. I hear a lot, it's super sexy to post that I opened my own brokerage. Well, guess what? You got to recruit. You got to add people to your brokerage. You got to add people to your brokerage because if
Yeah.
not, it's just you.
Yeah.
We
So
have a hand raised from Bonetta. So Bonetta, go ahead and ask your question.
Oh, there's Bonetta. She's in.
Can you hear?
We can hear you.
Can you? Hi, Michael and Rachel.
Who's
This
Michael?
is
Will.
Can
Who's
you?
Michael?
Will.
And did I say Will?
No, you
I
said
can be
Mike.
Michael. I'll be Michael for you, Bonetta.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I beg your pardon. Never mind. I'm sorry. Anyway, I wanted to add to the conversation of why EXP gets a bad rap. I just recruited my second person with EXP. I left EXP. I came to EXP years ago. EXP wasn't good with new agents when I first got my license. And then I came back after 5 years. I went to KW.
Mhm.
And I left KW for all of the reasons that you stated, the opportunity, etc. But in what I'm doing in my recruiting now, what I'm hearing is that one of the reasons why EXP gets a bad rep, I think because the other brokerages are scared of us. I think it's fear. Because brokerages, they really are losing people and they're firing the head leader who's supposed to be recruiting new agents because they're afraid of us. They're also saying things like, we're a pyramid. I said, no, baby, we're not the pyramid.
You're the pyramid.
Pyramid.
Yes.
And they're like, what? Yes, because the pyramid starts with, we're the reverse of the pyramid. So I think it's really fear. And, so that's what they're getting from the brokerage. Oh, I heard it's a pyramid. Oh, I heard it's not good. Or I heard after you join, people leave you, you're on your own, etc. So that's just kind of what I wanted to add to that conversation about why EXP gets a bad rep. Because I've been running ads on Indeed, and I'm talking to a lot of people, and I'm getting these different, I asked them, have you heard of EXP, and what have you heard? And that's the kind of feedback I'm getting. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Well, now you are able to provide them with the insight, the truth, because there's so much noise out there. There's so much noise.
Yeah. Anybody else? Any other questions?
There is one that was asked, at what point in an agent's EXP career should they consider recruiting? This is from Doris Wood. She says, I'm a new agent in the industry, period, but I have a recruiting background from my previous employer.
Day one. I mean, there's agents that have never sold a house with large organizations.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes that's just the skill set you need. You just know
Yeah.
to know how to
It's
talk to
literally
people.
just sharing the opportunity.
Do
There's
you
no,
have any suggestions for that? Because if you are talking to someone who has real estate related questions about the organization, besides just getting knowledgeable about EXP, um, can you share some insights on that? Like maybe like how do you rely on your upline? Like for example, do you have an ability to tap into your upline for
of
resources?
course. Yeah. So I'm very close with the people in my organization, and I rely on them for everything. I actually rely on them for a bunch of things, because here's the thing: when I really only talk to people that are producing, and if you go talk to somebody that's a top producer, first of all, revenue share sounds great, stock sounds great, but it really doesn't move them or mean much because they don't have it. I'll say that again: they don't have it. Until they've had it, will they feel like they're losing something, right? So their thought process is, okay, I'm here to sell houses. If you had to recruit me from start to finish, then I'm gonna have to do that. I don't have time for that. So I'll have the first conversation with them, but after that, it's all upgrade conversations. I'm just introducing them to somebody else, just letting them know that it's a team effort.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't tell people, you show people. So I show people that it's a team effort.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a question from Cal.
Yep.
No, where you calling from?
Calling from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
What's up, man?
What's going on? Thanks so much, Will and Rachel. This has been a great presentation. I just had a quick question. Can you talk a little bit about the process after attracting an agent to EXP? What are some of the requirements or expectations that agent will be looking from you as the individual that brought them to the brokerage?
Mm-hmm.
And then the second part of that question is, for that revenue share to occur, does the agents that you attract is that revenue share based on their productivity or just on the fact that you brought that agent to the brokerage?
Yeah. So if it was based on just you bringing them to the brokerage, then that would be a pyramid scheme, and we're not selling lotions and potions. So yes. So it's based on their productivity and their production. And the question you asked, again, great question. That's going to be between you and that person. So you have to set that expectation. When I attract someone to the company, I always ask them, a year from now, what does a win look like? And we discuss their goals, and I help them put them in place to reach their goals. But if that conversation doesn't happen, that's when the people leave, because ultimately I let them know, hey, I'm accountable to you. I'm not accountable for you. You know what I mean? So you're going to have to do the work just like anywhere else. But that's why I go out and I recruit producing agents, because non-producing agents, a lot of times, there's a high failure rate in this business. So they're going to blame you when ultimately we're independent contractors. It's, their success ultimately lies on them, not you.
Awesome. So just to kind of summarize that, it seems like you are very targeted in your approach when looking for prospects. Then, like you say, you're looking for more agents that are producers on their own currently in their business, and then seeing if that transfers over when they join. So it's kind of a hit the ground running situation.
Exactly. Yeah, man, because for all of this to work, you got to sell homes. If you sell homes, I'll tell you my plan. This is a simple plan, guys. You do this, you'll be financially free in 2 to 3 years. Sell 2 homes a month and attract 1 agent a month. Just do that. That's simple. Sell 2 homes a month, attract 1 agent a month. You continue to do that, your organization will be humongous.
Mm-hmm. And I will say that and I think this is something that I could be better about, is when you're having these conversations with agents who you have attracted, show them how to
Mm-hmm.
have the conversation, build a relationship, because when you break down the different levels, when you looked at Will's chart, a lot of the agents that are in his organization were
Mhm.
towards the bottom, and it's not because he may not even know them personally. And that's the picture that's a little bit harder to see. You think about, oh, I have to ask all these agents. Really? If you can get 5, great. If you can get 40, even better. But the more you work towards getting, that top tier, and you pour into them, you help them to
Mhm.
be productive agents, they're going to, it's just sharing like why you love this company as much as you do. It
Yep.
is that simple.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So I have a question. We have about 14 minutes left. There's some additional questions in there, but some of what I'm seeing is coming up as like objections. So anybody who has thought about agent attraction, who has been around other agents, what are some of the objections you've gotten? We can get some live objection handling from Will himself. We
Yeah.
have. Oh,
And I'd love to hear some success stories. Like I want to hear some success stories. Let's start there. Anybody have any success stories about the company, about attraction? Like I want to hear something good.
Abigail, I'm gonna bring you on. You have a question. Let's see. Welcome, Abigail.
Hi.
Where are you coming from?
I currently live in Arizona.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so my question is because just based a little bit about what you just said, Rachel. So I've met a lady who wants to join a real estate company. She's not even in school yet. She's gonna do school, and I was telling her about the school that I went to, and like the owners of the school actually work for EXP as well.
Mhm.
However, my hesitation is when if I recruit her, that they'll go under her downline, under like the people who brought me in, they'll go under her downline. So I'm like, I don't even know how to properly recruit somebody, if that makes sense. Because she said she absolutely want to join EXP. We met, we're currently searching properties, but and I want to bring her in, but I don't want her to fall under somebody else's downline, if that makes sense, and they get the revenue shares. So what I don't know what to do. I don't even know the first steps. Does that make sense?
It's a great question. Will, do you have any thoughts on that?
Oh, I mean, how about you ask her? Hey, I'd love for you to join with me.
Yeah, she wants to, but I don't know what to do. And then okay, so
Who
here's
brought
the
you in, Abigail? Who
uh
sponsored?
so the person that it's so funny, the person who actually brought me in told
Mhm.
me to not put her name as the person who brought me in, to put somebody else's name. So the people who I'm under is
Mhm.
Angela Fazio and Chuck Fazio.
Oh, okay. I got
Under
you.
them, she told
Uh-huh.
me to put their name instead of her name because she's on a salary under them.
Oh, so she's their recruiter. Yeah, so she's out
Yeah.
calling and recruiting for their front line.
Right. So
Mhm.
now I have somebody who wants to join because she said, oh, I like your vibes, I like your energy on the phone, and I
Mhm.
want to join, and I want to make the money that she will bring.
So you just need to send her your join link. So when she joins, all she needs to do is put your name down. That's it.
But here's the thing. I'm so sorry to go back and forth, but here's the thing. Excel is the team I'm under, right? Or not even a team, rather. So that's their recruiting thing. Excel, they offer us $100,000 guarantee, right? If we join under their downline. So I don't want to steer her away from that
Yeah,
and
let's
not do that.
maybe we should table this conversation. Let's
Right.
have it offline because it sounds like you got a lot of moving pieces there.
Yeah.
And this is being recorded.
Oh, okay.
Can we, to that point, I know Monique, I think we missed a question from Monique about compliance, guys. Can we
Mhm.
just set the record straight about what is allowable when you're recruiting people and what's not, just so no one is confused about that?
Mhm.
So I am not necessarily the expert in compliance on this topic, but I know that you have to refrain from offering certain types of initiatives for joining, such as bonuses or guarantees.
Mhm.
That's not what this is about. And I think that, if despite whatever is being offered, because nobody can give a guarantee. Nobody can say like you're going to get this or you're going to make this amount of money,
Mhm.
because it all depends on what that agent does, what kind of production that agent does. And so, Abigail, I would like, my suggestion is like have just a real conversation. If she's ready to join with you and says, "Hey, I want to join with you," let her know. If you want to join with me, here is my link. This is the value that I provide. Like, as being just like, this is where I can show you, how to navigate the system, whatever it is that you offer, to be able to help her to be successful as an agent.
Can you still hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. So when she joins with me, let me think. Because I want her to join with me, but I still want her to go to the same school that I went to. And I know that they own the school that I went to.
Mhm.
I don't
Well,
know.
so is it, so it's a licensing school, is that correct?
It is.
Okay, so she can go to their school and get all the coursework done, take the tests, become licensed, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Then you let her know when she's ready to sign up for a brokerage, you let her know what the process is for that in your
Okay.
mind. And the first step is, do you know how to access your join link?
I don't. I'm literally sitting here looking at EXP Enterprise to try to figure all this out.
So we'll just basically put it on the screen, join.exprealty.com. If you're able to access your KV Core site, there's
Mhm.
usually a link to your specific site on that as well.
Okay.
So essentially, even if you use just the join.exprealty.com, there's a point in the application where it asks for your sponsor. Who was the person or the reason you decided to join EXP? You can give them your name or like a unique identifier, like a phone number, to be able to find you in the system.
Mhm. Perfect. Do we have any other questions? Who's Monique?
I'm Monique. Somebody asked in here about where can they go to get an explanation on how the tiers work and the compensation from those tiers?
Mhm. Yeah, so I typed the link in there, join.exprealty.com. If you go there, there's a presentation as well.
Also, I will say this, I know who ours is for our area of the United States, but you typically have like a chief growth officer, and it's segmented by region. They are there to help you as well. I know for Texas, Tony King is that person. And you could go to Workplace and you can find these people and you'd reach out and say like, hey, I want to get better at this. What are some resources? What are local resources that I can use to help myself to get better at this? What should I be doing? And they'll tell you. And there are links. It's like the kind of 30-minute like about EXP. So if they have questions, there's videos, there's resources like, hey, here's this is where you can go to find out more about EXP Realty. Once you're done watching the video, I'm going to follow up with you so we can have a conversation about it to find out what you think and if I can answer any questions for you. Let's see, I think we have another question from Tanya. Tanya, welcome to the
Hi,
panel.
how are you?
Jeez.
Good.
I saw the question in the chat and it wasn't answered, and I'm curious too. How do you approach, or what do you say to actual brokerage owners? You're trying to bring everybody over, but what do you
Yeah. So I think you just really have to have a real conversations with the brokerage owners, because a lot of these brokerages are not profitable. And if you see the broker owner still selling real estate, he's probably doing that to keep the doors open. So I think it's really just having a real conversation, and then that's when you bring the Tony Kings and the directors in, because they can peel back the onion and really find out what's going on there. Because again, a lot of these times, there's reasons that these people want to get out of the business because they didn't get into this to be a babysitter. They didn't get into this for all the legal ramifications. They didn't get into it for the E&O. They didn't get into it for all of the overhead, you know? So I think it's really just having real conversations, just knowing what questions to ask and getting them to open up, and they'll tell you the real story. Again, it looks cute, but it ain't all peaches and roses. So you just have to have those conversations with them.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I'm gonna welcome Vincent to the panel. Vincent, you there?
I think
Can-
he's gone.
Their
Yeah, can you
cameras
hear me?
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, my camera's off. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, my camera's not quite working. Can you hear me?
Yes. we
Yes.
can hear
Yeah, it actually has my Toastmasters logo up there. First of all, welcome and hello from Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. My question has to do with how the compensation works for international agents. So here I'm in Canada. I have links to the States, to England where I was born, France where I have relatives. So if I want to bring people in, does EXP treat their income and my income as a result of that any differently, or does it matter where I'm recruiting from?
So I would definitely refer, every country has their own model. So I would refer to that country, and you can find all that in the join.exprealty.com or the EXP Global site. You can find the presentations and the models for all the different countries.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we're actually going to be wrapping up because we only have a couple minutes left. So I want to say thank you so much to Will for taking the time to share his story and how he is, utilizing this really great opportunity as an additional stream of income to help fuel his dreams to take care of his family. I know that I'm inspired to do the same. Before we head out, how can one get in contact with you? Well, I know you've mentioned it a couple of times, but I don't know if you could drop it in the chat. People have some additional questions or just want to follow you on socials. How does one keep in contact?
Yes, so I will put my Instagram there. If you just go to Instagram and type Will Higgins, you will find me. But I will type that in here, instagram.com/I'm Will Higgins. And then again, I got questions about my my landing page. Again, the landing page has been, I probably had over 1,000 visits to that landing page, and I've had 70 or 80 people reach out to me. So it's almost a 10% conversion. When they go to that page, they schedule a call with me. And, by that time they've already made up their mind, they've already made up their mind that they're joining and they want to join with me.
Pretty awesome. Well, thank you so much. I wish we had like a little sound tool that could give you a round of applause, because it was really great. Thank you for that. I want to remind everybody that this is new in 2024, where we are having these every month. So if you are interested in learning more about how to grow your business from different aspects to agent attraction, how to be a better real estate agent, how to be a better business professional, we're here for you. We're going to be here every second Tuesday of the month at 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m., depending on what your time zone is. I'm Rachel Allen, and we are the Black EXP Network. Ben, we have our team. We didn't really do an introduction of our team that we have here on the panel, but a quick introduction. Melanie, our fearless leader, Ashley, who is responsible for all of the really great socials that you see. She's been manning our social pages. So interact with her. Follow us on Instagram. Sorry, Ashley, if I'm butchering this, but Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and all the places that we are. And then Monique Harps, who is really the person that makes sure that we all stay together and on track. So really great to have you all. Join us not next Tuesday, but next month. Monique, if you have the date available, but we're going to be talking about credit repair. And I know that sounds like such a simple topic, but so many of us have clients who have needs. It's the objection. It's the thing that's keeping them from getting off the bench and purchasing a home. But that's what we're here for. We're here to guide them. And so as much as it's February 13th. Thank you very much. As much as we are able to clear the way for our clients, and we do that by just knowing everything that we can for our clients. So join us Tuesday, February 13th for education and training on credit repair. So that's all I got for you guys. We're past our time. Thank you so much for joining us. Looking forward to connecting with you and seeing you next time.
See you guys.
Thank you guys. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.
Thanks.